Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show.
He ordered to the battle fortress behind him, "Go, unleash your power, go kill this cultivator's Hyperion, and kill this Hyperion at all costs." Yes, the battleships in Arlert's battle fortress heard Arlert's words, and immediately became excited one by one, and began to mobilize the magic power in their bodies, preparing to attack Su Yan's Hyperion. In the battle fortress on the Hyperion, Su Yan looked at the void ahead, with a faint smile on his face. He is waiting for the approach of the ships of the Shura clan. This Arlert is indeed a cunning dog. He is playing hard to get. He wants to let us relax our vigilance first, and then send battle fortress to deal with me. Su Yan thought in his heart, with a sneer on his face. He really didn't expect that Arlert would actually play this trick. Let his Hyperion harass him on the periphery first, attract his attention, and then send the battle fortress to launch a sneak attack. But Su Yan is not afraid of Arlert's tricks at all. "Since you want to play this trick, I might as well play with you. Hyperion, activate the attack mode, and prepare to meet the enemy." Su Yan gave orders to the Hyperion in his heart. Before the battle fortress of the Shura race approached Su Yan's Hyperion had already rushed out of the void, and went straight to the battle fortress on the Hyperion. These battle fortresses also rushed towards the Hyperion where Su Yan was. Su Yan's Hyperion is a super aircraft carrier with a displacement of hundreds of thousands of tons. With such a huge volume, it is naturally impossible to avoid the Hyperion's attack. After the Hyperion hit these battle fortresses of the Shura tribe, its hull was smashed by these battle fortresses, and all the cabins in the hull exploded. However, Su Yan's Hyperion is a super aircraft carrier after all. Even if it was bombed by the battleships of the Shura tribe, it still stood firm and did not damage any party. This makes these battleships of the Shura clan feel very incredible. Each of their battle fortresses is the most advanced technological product. Although their hulls are not particularly strong, they can't be destroyed so easily, can they? This made the battleships of the Shura clan very surprised, and did not understand what was going on. After their battleships hit the Hyperion, they stopped hitting. The battleships on the Hyperion also flew out from the Hyperion one after another, and attacked these battleships, all of which were equipped with artillery. The power of these cannons is enormous. The range of these cannons can reach about 3,000 meters. If it is an ordinary battleship, it will definitely be torn apart by these shells and turned into ashes. However, the artillery on the Hyperion can only cause damage to these combat ships, but cannot destroy their battle fortresses. These artillery can't break through the protective shields of these battle fortresses. The artillery on the Hyperion can only harass these battleships. It can't really hurt the Shura battleships at all. Su Yan saw such a scene in the starry sky far away, and couldn't help showing a sneer on his face. It seems that the defense of these battleships of the Asura clan is much stronger than the battleships of those cultivators we encountered before. Even these battleships of the Shura clan are capable of resisting. If it weren't for their strength being inferior to the Shura clan, I'm afraid they wouldn't be reduced to the point of being enslaved by the Shura clan. Since your battle fortress is so powerful, you don't have to think about running away anymore. Just stay here, and I will let you know how terrifying my Hyperion is. Su Yan's Hyperion began to mobilize energy, and then fired intensive artillery fire at the battleships of the Shura tribe, covering them in an instant. The artillery on the Hyperion can ignore the protective cover of the battle fortress, penetrate directly through it, and then sink the battle fortress of the Shura tribe. Boom! At this moment, a violent explosion occurred, submerging all these combat ships, and this process did not last too long. Soon, everything was completely destroyed, leaving nothing behind. Seeing everything in front of them, the monks on the battle fortress all had horrified expressions on their faces. How is it possible? Our battle fortress was actually destroyed by a kid. Could it be that his attack power can already ignore the defense of our battle fortress? What should we do now? Are you going to sit and wait to be caught by him? Absolutely cannot be caught by him. These Shura warriors watched the battle fortress they worked so hard to build, and were easily defeated by a Hyperion. They were all very angry and unwilling, but there was nothing they could do. Although these battleships of the Shura clan are formidable, their defensive power has not yet reached the point where they can withstand these attacks. Their battle fortresses were all destroyed when they encountered these attacks. Our battle fortresses have all been destroyed, and we have no ability to resist. These fighters are all from the Shura clan. Seeing that their battle fortress was destroyed, they were very unwilling, but they couldn't do anything about it. They have no ability to resist. Just like a herd of sheep meeting a ferocious tiger, the battleships of the Shura clan were all destroyed, so they naturally didn't dare to stay here anymore. They had to leave here. "Heath, your battle fortress has been destroyed. Where do you want to escape?" Su Yan's voice sounded. Hearing Su Yan's words, Those Shura warriors also showed expressions of horror on their faces. Their battle fort was destroyed, and their escape routes were all exposed in front of Su Yan. These Asura warriors turned their heads and ran away almost without thinking. Unfortunately, not long after they escaped, they were attacked by the energy cannon of the Hyperion. Bang bang. Another series of explosions sounded, and these Shura warriors were blown up again. They don't have any defensive ability, just like Tofu. These soldiers were bombarded a few times by the artillery on the Hyperion, and then they were killed, without any ability to resist. After these Shura warriors were killed, all the weapons in their hands fell on the Hyperion. On the battleships on the Hyperion, endless energy cannons suddenly appeared, and began to attack these Shura battleships. One after another, the energy cannons hit the battleships of the Shura tribe, making the battleships of the Shura tribe pitted under the energy cannon of the Hyperion. These battleships of the Shura clan have already suffered heavy losses. After suffering such an attack, these battleships of the Shura clan basically have no combat effectiveness. They will only explode after encountering the danger of the deadly 103, so as to ensure their own safety. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and chased after these Shura battleships. Although these Shura battleships were destroyed by Su Yan, but their battle fortress can store energy. These battle fortresses, after being destroyed, can be condensed again to restore the fighting state. Su Yan did not catch up, but waited for the battle fortresses of the Shura clan to recover. He wanted to take this opportunity to destroy all the battleships of the Shura clan and completely eliminate the Shura clan. The number of this guy's battleships is really too huge. We can't stop them at all. We can only let him destroy them and hope they can destroy all of this Hyperion. On a battleship of the Shura tribe, the leader of the Shura tribe spoke. Damn, those of us are not his opponents at all. Our battle fortress simply cannot withstand the attack of the Hyperion. Another Shura warrior said, they are like a killing machine now. They don't know how to get tired, they just attack us blindly. Our Shura battle fortress will be consumed by them sooner or later. When the time comes, they will kill us all. Let's run away quickly. At this time, a soldier suddenly said, have you forgotten? Our Shura clan battle fortress has many precious energy ores. They are attacking our Shura battleships now just to consume our Shura battleships. We just need to hide and hide the energy ores. They have nothing to do with us. They can't find us. You are right. The most important thing for us now is to put away energy ores. Alright, then we will retreat first. No matter what, we must preserve our strength, and then look for opportunities to avenge our hatred. Okay, these Shura battleships retreated immediately after receiving the order. They wanted to hide, and then looked for opportunities to snatch the energy ore back, but they hadn't run far when their bodies exploded suddenly. They couldn't dodge at all, and they couldn't escape, because Su Yan's Hyperion didn't give up attacking them at all. Energy shells fell on them one after another, smashing them all into pieces. These battleships must carry a lot of energy ores. At this time, they were attacked by the shells on Su Yan's Hyperion, which naturally dissipated all these energy ores. And these energy shells are flying towards the surroundings. What should we do now? Are we really going to be wiped out by these humans? It's too strong. We are no match at all. And our battle fortress has been destroyed in 7s and 80s, and we can't resist the attack at all. Now we can only choose to surrender. We are willing to surrender to this guy. Surrender? That is absolutely impossible. We cannot surrender to them. We are the royal family of the Shura clan, and we will not surrender to lower humans. Then what should we do now? These guys are really too powerful. If we don't think about it, we won't be able to resist their attacks at all. If we surrender now, they will definitely take away our energy, and we won't even be able to get a single energy stone by then. The crew members of the Shura battleships present began to discuss. They are also very depressed now. Originally, they wanted to use this method to wipe out the Shura clan, making the Shura clan pay a huge price, and causing them heavy losses. Su Yan kept shuttling inside their Shura battle fortress. They couldn't stop the Hyperion at all. The Hyperion is also approaching quickly, and their battle fortress has been destroyed by Su Yan's Hyperion, so their battle fortress no longer has any threat. And Su Yan's Hyperion has also approached the closest Shura battle fortress to them. In this battle fortress of the Shura tribe, there are more than 300 battle fortresses of the Shura tribe. Among them, more than 200 Shura clan battle fortresses are the leaders and subordinates of these Shura clans. My lord, what shall we do now? In this battle fortress of the Shura clan, the leader of the Shura clan was silent for a while, and he said, we are the royal family of the Shura clan, and we must never submit to them. We must do something now, otherwise, we will sooner or later will be wiped out by them. But we have nothing to do. This guy's strength of 5.6 is really terrifying. We are no match for him at all. HMPH, we Shura clan will never submit to lower humans. The team leader snorted coldly, and then he said, The only thing we can do now is to tell our father about this matter and let him handle it. When he said this, his face became a little ugly. He said this now, obviously contrary to his father's meaning. They have no other way now. If they continue to stay here, they can only be wiped out by Su Yan's Hyperion, so they must escape now. Let's go. After finishing speaking, the team leader turned around and rushed out, and the rest of the Shura clan also rushed out. Not long after they rushed out, Su Yan's Hyperion stopped in front of them, blocking their way. You despicable and shameless things, aren't you ready to surrender? Su Yan sneered and said, since you want to die, then I'm not welcome. We don't want to surrender. The Shura tribe said, we would rather die in battle than surrender to you, a human being. Since you don't want to drink a toast and take fine wine, then I have no choice but to send you back to the west. After Su Yan finished speaking, energy shells immediately bombarded out, booming towards this group of Shura tribe. The Shura tribe didn't expect that Su Yan would really dare to kill them, and they all stared wide-eyed in horror. None of them thought that Su Yan would dare to kill them. They wanted to resist, but they just wanted to move, but found that they couldn't move at all. This energy shell directly hit them and tore their bodies apart. A Shura warrior was directly smashed to pieces by this energy shell. 23. A low-level Asura member of the Asura tribe was hit by this energy shell and was directly blown up. Boom tilde. A violent explosion sounded, and the low-level Shura clan of the Shura clan was blown into meat paste and turned into a cloud of blood mist. Seeing this scene, the rest of the Shura tribe were scared out of their wits, and everyone was terrified. They were all terrified, and now they regret it very much. I regret that I shouldn't have listened to their patriarch's words and attacked this human being. It's too late to say these now. They have no choice but to be destroyed by Su Yan's Hyperion. Su Yan's battleship continued to sail forward, and soon caught up with the remaining battle fortress of the Shura tribe. On this battle fortress, there are also some Shura people, and they are also panicking now. Seeing the Hyperion crashing towards them, their faces were as pale as paper. They simply don't know what kind of disaster they will suffer next. Their minds are now blank, and they just want to escape quickly. The battle fortress of the Shura tribe also started quickly and rushed towards Su Yan's Hyperion. Although the speed of their battle fortress was very fast, Su Yan's Hyperion was not slow either, colliding with each other in the blink of an eye. After contact, it exploded immediately, and a huge energy fluctuation broke out. The entire battle fortress of the Shura clan completely collapsed, turned into a pile of scrap iron, and then disappeared. However, Su Yan's Hyperion was not affected in any way. This battle fortress is no match for the Hyperion at all. And on the other side, the leader of the Shura clan, looking at the light screen in front of him, his eyes were full of unwillingness. The Shura clansman said, we really lost this time. Really lost. They now know that they are not human opponents at all, so they can only admit defeat. Patriarch, what should we do now? A member of the Shura clan asked. Let's retreat. We will return to the clan and report this matter to our clan leader. Our patriarch may be able to help us solve the immediate crisis. The patriarch of the Shura clan said. Alright, I'll send someone to notify the clan right away. The Shura clansmen immediately began to contact the patriarch of their clan. At this time, on Su Yan's Hyperion, those Shura tribesmen have been wiped out. These Shura people are really a bunch of idiots. Su Yan shook his head and said, although it is said that on the battlefield, these Shura people will also suffer casualties, but they are not defenseless. The Shura clan also has quite a few warships, but the performance and threat of such warships are very limited, and they cannot cause too much damage to them at all. The reason why they were able to be defeated by Su Yan's Hyperion was because they were defenseless and frightened stupid by what happened suddenly. These Shura people are not too stupid. They know that in war, there is no chance of luck. Once you encounter an enemy, you can only fight hard to save your life. After the battle, all the Shura clansmen withdrew one after another. They didn't come back here either, but returned to the headquarters of the Shura clan. Now the patriarch of the Shura clan is summoning his high-level officials to discuss this matter. They also know that they have suffered heavy losses this time, but they have no choice. Who told them to provoke Su? Under Su Yan's offensive, they could only run away. They had no way to resist, and they didn't even have the courage to resist, so they could only flee in a hurry. In the current situation, we can only wait for the order of the patriarch. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and headed towards the headquarters of the Shura clan. Now his Hyperion was very fast, and ordinary warships simply couldn't keep up with his Hyperion. Soon, the Hyperion caught up with the Shura clan's headquarters. Seeing the Hyperion, all the members of the Shura clan were terrified. Lord Patriarch, they are chasing up again, and our warship has been destroyed, so we can't stop them at all. A member of the Shura clan spoke to the Patriarch of the 127 Shura clan. They knew that under such circumstances, they could only rely on the Patriarch of the Shura clan. Their Patriarch is no longer here, and their patriarch has long since fled to nowhere. What? Our warship has been destroyed. The patriarch of the Shura clan was stunned when he heard the news. They originally thought that with their strength, they could destroy Su Yan's battle fortress, but now they found that they were wrong, and they were still very wrong. Their warship was actually destroyed by Su Yan's battle fortress, which was beyond their expectations, and they never thought of it. Their warships are all made of the best materials. In the interstellar war, the defense of their warships is absolutely extremely powerful, but now it was destroyed by Su Yan's battle fortress, which made them feel extremely bad. Only then did they understand why Su Yan was able to defeat them. In the interstellar war, they have no advantage at all. When they encounter powerful star beasts, they may even be attacked by meteorites. If there is no protective device, their combat ships cannot withstand the attack of meteorites at all. That's why they suffered heavy losses, and were annihilated by Su Yan in one fell swoop. Patriarch, what should we do now? A Shura clansman next to him asked. Retreat, the patriarch of the Shura clan said with a sigh. He also knew that they had no way to stay here now, they could only retreat. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion to fly a certain distance in the starry sky, and then he restrained the energy fluctuations of the Hyperion, and headed towards a distant planet. The Hyperion flew to this planet, and then Su Yan drove the Hyperion into the main gun compartment of the Hyperion. This is the only main gun compartment on the Hyperion, and there are only a few main guns in it, and no other weapons. Su Yan took out one of the main cannons, and he manipulated the main cannon to scan in the starry sky. The main gun of the Hyperion is made of a special kind of metal, and the main gun is covered with dense runes. These runes are very mysterious and look very mysterious, as if they possess some kind of magical power. On the surface of the main gun, there is also a spherical thing hum. Just as Su Yan was manipulating the Hyperion and starting to scan, he suddenly heard a roar. What's the situation? The secondary gun of the Hyperion actually fired a ball of dazzling lightning shells, directly blasting at Su Yan's Hyperion. This lightning shell is very huge, the size of a basketball, and the energy fluctuations emitted from the lightning shell are also very powerful. Obviously, this is a powerful weapon. If it weren't for the powerful main gun of the Hyperion, the lightning shell just now would have devoured the Hyperion. It wouldn't have hit Su Wei slightly. Who attacked us? Could it be those bastards? Su Yan frowned. He didn't know who was sneaking up on them. If it was those bastards, he would have killed them long ago, and killed them all, so it would be their turn to sneak attack. But this is the universe, the territory of the strong, and the territory of the strong should be managed by the strong, not the weak. Rumble. A violent explosion suddenly occurred on the Hyperion, and a burst of dazzling light bloomed in this area. After the thunder and lightning shell exploded, it immediately caused a huge commotion. A series of huge energy shocks spread in all directions, covering the surrounding area of hundreds of kilometers. This place became a mess in an instant, with ruins everywhere. Su Yan also felt this huge energy impact, but he didn't stop. He controlled the Hyperion and continued to fly forward. The Hyperion is flying here, and those star thieves have no way to attack it, because they have no way to capture Su Yan, so they can only watch as the Hyperion is out of their sight, quickly disappear. And those star thieves looked at the back of the disappearance of the Hyperion. Their faces were very ugly, and they didn't expect that someone would dare to wreak havoc on their territory. What should we do? A star thief asked. What else can I do? Go back and inform the patriarch, and ask the patriarch to make a decision. A star thief said. Now Su Yan slaughtered them wantonly here. Then they must take revenge, otherwise, they would not be able to survive at all. They must tell the patriarch about this situation, and then let the patriarch make a decision. Yes, the star thief nodded, and immediately drove the spaceship back to their Sheol Washing. Su Yan was manipulating the Hyperion, and after flying 200 million kilometers, he suddenly felt a familiar wave of energy. This wave of energy was transmitted from the spaceship he was in the solar system before. He immediately controlled the Hyperion to stop, and then controlled the Hyperion to fly in the direction where the energy fluctuations were transmitted. Under the control of Su Yan, the Hyperion quickly shuttled through the starry sky, and flew towards the spaceship. During the flight, he also discovered that the energy fluctuations of the Hyperion, the closer he got, the more clearly he could feel the energy fluctuations on this spaceship. Finally, he came to the sky above a planet, and then he manipulated the Hyperion to land on the planet. He landed on a rock on this planet, then stood up, looked around, and saw a few star rivers shining with dazzling light in the distance. These rays of light are the star light source. Here, it is not easy to be able to emit star light source. After all, there is no shelter in the starry sky of the universe. If you want to hide, you can only hide on the planet, or hide in the universe. Such a situation is difficult for ordinary creatures, unless they have abilities like Su Yan. However, in the universe, some abilities cannot be used. For example, star exploration. such as space jumping and so on. Su Yan is very lucky to be able to control the Hyperion to come here. Su Yan watched for a while, confirmed the location of the spaceship, and then flew away. The Hyperion was flying extremely fast, and soon came near the spaceship. When he came near the spaceship, he found that there were many black holes around the spaceship. These black holes are very bright, exuding bursts of strong attraction, as if once entering the black hole, they will be sucked away by the black hole. Around the spaceship, there are a group of star pavilions guarding it. The group of star thieves were all very surprised when they saw that Su Yan flew here in the Hyperion. Hello, Wang. These star thieves can be considered well informed, but they never thought that in this vast universe, there is such a super battleship here. Who is so bold that he dares to come to our territory to act wildly? A star thief shouted loudly. It's Su Yan, the guy who killed Ackermans. And it's coming again. Another star thief shouted. Is it him? How can he escape this time? No matter who he is, with so many of us here, can he really escape our grasp? Those star thieves talked a lot, but they are all star thieves. They are naturally not afraid of how powerful Su Yan is. On this planet, they are absolute kings. How dare you come to our territory to make trouble? You are looking for death. A leader-level star thief shouted, kill him. The star thieves roared. Their anger has been provoked. I advise you not to do anything, otherwise, you will not be able to afford the consequences. Su Yan said lightly. What are you? How dare you threaten us? Who are you from? I think you don't know where this is, do you? Go back quickly, otherwise, we don't mind killing you. There are so many of us here, you dare to come here to die. What a dead end in Yichang. Kill him. Those star thieves shouted one after another. You are so stupid. Do you think we are really afraid of you? Su Yan said with a sneer. Who do you think you are? Do you think you can beat so many of us? Let me tell you, in this interstellar world, we are the supreme gods. How dare you be so arrogant? We will kill you. These star thieves roared one after another, and their voices echoed throughout the entire star field, and were transmitted to all parts of the interstellar space. I don't want to waste time with you guys. Su Yan snorted coldly, then he controlled the Hyperion and flew towards the spaceship. Stop him. Seeing this, the star thief yelled. These 097 spaceships are galaxy-level spaceships. Although this spaceship is not their master-level spaceship, it is also their master-level spaceship. They will not allow anyone to snatch the spaceship from them. Star Thief and the others rushed towards Su Yan, ready to block Su Yan. As they ran, they controlled their spaceship and rushed over rumbling Tilda. In an instant, spaceships rushed out of their respective spaceships and rushed to the side of the Hyperion that Su Yan was driving. These spaceships are all high-tech spaceships, which are more advanced than the spaceships on the planet. On the planet, spaceships are divided into 3 levels: low-level, intermediate, and high-level, and Xing-level spaceships belong to the top-level spaceships, and the spaceship that Su Yan is riding on has reached the high-level galaxy level. He also has a star as the power source of the spaceship, so that the spaceship can always fly in the turbulent space, and the flying speed is very fast, which is many times faster than the spaceship on the planet. The star thieves rushed towards the Hyperion where Su Yan was. The Hyperion's defense is very strong, but the attack power of these star thieves is also very strong. Their weapons are all galaxy-level weapons. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and flew into the Hyperion, and then he controlled the Hyperion and flew towards the giant spaceship. This giant spacecraft is a full 100 kilometers long, 2 kilometers high, and 3 kilometers wide. It is larger than the interstellar spacecraft on the planet, and it is bigger than the Hyperion that Su Yan is on. It is more than twice as big as the Hyperion that Su Yan is currently riding on. Su Yan's Hyperion can only sail quickly among the stars, and it needs to consume a lot of energy to fly among the stars. Su Yan has such a super baby as the Hyperion, so the consumption is not very big. It just needs to consume a lot of energy. It is not very serious, so Su Knockdown can also sustain it. The Hyperion flew to the front of this giant spaceship and stopped. Damn it, why don't you fly, you coward? Do you dare to continue flying? A star thief cursed. Seeing Su Yan stop flying in front of their eyes, the group of star thieves couldn't help feeling a little annoyed. They are a group of ants in front of Su Yan. Su Yan stopped in front of them. Isn't this a slap in the face? Most people don't have the courage to stop in front of them, but Su Yan did it, and did it so thoroughly that he didn't take them seriously at all. How could they not be angry? Since you want to die so much, I will fulfill you, Su Yan said indifferently. Su Yan looked arrogant, and he didn't take these star thieves seriously. HMPH, arrogant boy, we will help you, a star thief said. The Hyperion immediately fired energy cannons, all gathered together, and shot towards the giant spaceship. Under the bombardment of the energy cannon, the giant spaceship was immediately blown out of a huge crater, and the huge explosion energy destroyed the spaceship. Under Su Yan's control, the giant spaceship quickly returned to its original appearance, then transformed rapidly, and finally turned into a huge spaceship flying towards the distance. Su Yan's goal has been achieved. He is unwilling to entangle with these star thieves. These star thieves are too weak to be his opponent at all, so there is no need for him to entangle with these star maps. Damn, it was run away by this kid. He was able to control the Hyperion. It must be because he has a galaxy-level spaceship on him, so he can control the spaceship. I'm going to report to the commander, and let the commander send a more powerful spaceship to kill this human being. I think so too. We must notify the more powerful Star Thief team to come over. Those Star Thieves said angrily. Ha ha ha. Let me see who among you can notify more Star Thief teams to kill me. Su Yan laughed maniacally. Don't listen to his nonsense. He said this at this time, just to delay time. He wants to escape. That's right. We absolutely cannot let him leave here, otherwise, there will be endless troubles. Chase. Kill him. I can't believe that he was able to escape this catastrophe. Those star thieves said one after another. Activate the energy shield and speed me up. The Hyperion immediately activated its energy shield and flew into the distant starry sky. Rumble. In the starry sky, the speed of the spaceship was very fast and soon surpassed Su Yan's Hyperion. The spaceship was chasing after it, firing energy cannons at Su Yan's Hyperion continuously. Rumble. Energy cannons one after another continuously bombarded towards the Hyperion, and the shield of the Hyperion was also flickering continuously, layer after layer of light curtains, blocking the bombardment of those energy cannons. The energy cannon of this giant spaceship is very powerful, but it can't do anything to the Hyperion. It can only be resisted by it, and the rest of the star thieves on that spaceship all manipulated the spaceship to track the Hyperion, trying to intercept the Hyperion. Su Yan manipulated the Hyperion and flew into the star field. The energy cannon on his Hyperion also began to bombard the giant spaceship. Boom boom boom. The energy cannon of the Hyperion frantically bombarded the giant spaceship. The energy bombardment of those star thieves bombarded the Hyperion, and the energy shield on the Hyperion was still continuously releasing energy to resist those energy cannons. A series of energy cannons continuously bombarded the Hyperion. The energy shield of the Hyperion is not too stable, so the energy bombardment of these star thieves still vibrates on its shell. It can even cause the Hyperion to shake violently, as if it will break at any time. No, I want to refit the Hyperion as soon as possible, so that it will be stronger and safer. Su Yan said. The Hyperion has been refitted so that it can withstand the bombardment of ordinary energy cannons, and it will bounce back waves of attacks. Now on Su Yan's Hyperion, besides the energy cannon, there's also a special kind of energy. That is the energy liquid. With the help of the energy liquid, the energy on the Hyperion has also become stronger. The attacks of these star thieves fell on the shell of the Hyperion, and the energy bombarded the Hyperion, which could not hurt Su Yan at all. The Hyperion was still flying slowly. Su Yan controls the Hyperion and keeps flying forward. We can't catch up, let's go back first. The leader of those star thieves said hateful. The leaders of those star thieves were itching their teeth with hatred, but there was nothing they could do. Su Yan controls the Hyperion and keeps flying. Not long after, he flew into a barren star field. This star field is the fringe area of the galaxy universe. This is a very dangerous area. Very few galaxy-level life forms are active here. Even if there are galaxy-level creatures wandering here, they will not enter this area, and the degree of danger here is relatively high. Su Yan also arranged some interstellar explorers on the Hyperion to patrol this area. Once the star robbers attack the Hyperion, they will rush over immediately to stop the battle. This point, Su Yan has already thought about it. If the star thieves attack his spaceship, he will immediately arrange for interstellar explorers to come and kill all those star thieves. The Hyperion is flying among the stars at an extremely fast speed, constantly shuttling through the galaxies in the universe. A powerful energy shield exudes from the hull of the Hyperion, and the energy cannons of those star thieves can't penetrate the spaceship at all. Haha, you still can't escape. You have been surrounded by us. Obediently surrender. Surrender. The leaders of those star thieves shouted one after another. HMPH, I really can't escape, but with you alone, it's impossible to catch me. Su Yan said coldly. The speed of the Hyperion is getting faster and faster, and it is also driving the surrounding cosmic storm. The leaders of those star thieves also noticed the abnormality, and avoided them one after another. A series of huge energy cannons erupted from the Hyperion. Starship-level spaceships were smashed to pieces by these huge energy star cannons. Once the energy cannon on the Hyperion bombards it, it will bombard and explode those starry space-class spacecraft, turning them into debris that fills the sky and floating in the void. What? How is this possible? How could my spaceship explode? Quick, our spaceship explodes. This scene horrified the Star Bandit leaders, and they exclaimed one by one. These Star Bandit leaders didn't care about attacking the Hyperion anymore, and turned around and fled away. Now, they only hope that their spaceship can survive the disaster, otherwise, it will be too sad, and their spaceship will be destroyed. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and continued to fly forward. Soon, the Hyperion string flew to the center of this void universe. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and flew forward. Soon, he came near a huge meteorite. This huge meteorite is hundreds of kilometers in diameter. The surface is full of magma and flames, and a wave of scorching energy is transmitted from this huge meteorite. Su Yan manipulated the Hyperion and approached the meteorite boom. Meteorites bombarded out of the huge meteorite one after another, exploding towards the surroundings. Ripples of energy rippled in the void, causing the space to become distorted. The energy shield of the Hyperion still blocked these energy bombardments, and the Hyperion was not damaged. The Hyperion continued to fly forward, and soon came to the front of the huge meteorite. That giant talent stone radiated a hot energy, and kept moving towards Hyperion. The energy shield of the Hyperion was continuously impacted, and energy ripples continuously rippled in the void. A terrifying shock wave spread in all directions, causing the entire starry sky to vibrate. Su Yan controls the Hyperion, constantly flying, constantly avoiding the impact of those energy, preventing the Hyperion's energy shield from being blasted. However, the defensive energy shield of the Hyperion is too tyrannical, and the impact of these energies has no effect on the Hyperion. The Hyperion kept moving forward, and the spaceships of those star thieves did not dare to chase it up easily. Haha, your attacks have no effect on me, Su Yan said with a sneer. The defensive energy shield of the Hyperion is really too powerful. I don't care who you are, but let me tell you that the Hyperion is not as weak as you imagined. The attack power of the Hyperion is beyond your imagination. You'd better be honest with me, otherwise, the energy cannon will wipe you all out, Su Yan said coldly. You, the leader of the Star Bandits, was furious. It's so powerful. We spent so much energy, but we didn't even hurt him a little bit. Let's not panic. In the current situation, we must unite with other forces to attack the Hyperion together. In this way, it is possible to completely destroy it. Well, that's all for now, a group of star thieves discussed. So, let's divide the work and cooperate now. I will lead the rest of the spaceships to attack the Hyperion. The rest of the spaceships will sit here and wait. If there is a chance, they will sneak attack the Hyperion. If you are in danger, retreat to the mountain immediately. Let's go. The Star Bandit leaders left one after another. After the Star Thief leader left, Su Yan's face suddenly became gloomy. These Star Thief leaders actually wanted to use their spaceships to deal with him. These Star Thieves are too despicable and shameless. Su Yan didn't know what these Star Pavilions were thinking. In his eyes, the spaceships of these Star Thieves are nothing at all. The defensive capabilities of the Hyperion can withstand the bombardment of star-level spaceships. Those star-level spaceships can't pose any threat to the Hyperion. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and continued to fly forward, constantly avoiding the attacks of those spaceships. However, those Star Thief leaders are not stupid. Their goal is the Hyperion area. Once the Hyperion is attacked, it will immediately stop at 580 and launch a counterattack. One after another starships continuously bombarded the Hyperion. The energy shield of the Hyperion was also trembling constantly. There was intense friction between the Hyperion's main gun and the energy shield, causing the energy shield's defensive energy to fluctuate and become stronger and stronger. Starships one after another were destroyed by the Hyperion. The speed of the Hyperion was very fast, and it quickly flew tens of thousands of kilometers. The Hyperion stopped on a huge meteorite and stopped advancing. What should we do? Our attack was blocked by this spaceship, a Star Thief leader asked anxiously. That's right, the Hyperion is too powerful. The Hyperion simply ignores this level of attack. Moreover, our energy shield can't last long, and the Hyperion's energy shield is getting weaker and weaker. We must get out of here as soon as possible, a star-level powerhouse said. Then get out of here. A starry sky powerhouse issued an order. A starship spaceship left the star field, where the Hyperion was located, in an instant. The main gun of the Hyperion fired a cannonball. The spaceship in the starry sky was hit by the energy shield by the main gun of the Hyperion. This starship, in front of the Hyperion, is simply like a hill. The energy shield of the Hyperion was instantly shattered. The Hyperion flew again, and quickly caught up with the spaceship that had just left the Hyperion. The main gun of the Hyperion fired again. The starship was smashed into pieces again in an instant. The Hyperion continued to fly, constantly sprinting forward, at a faster and faster speed. Not long after, the Hyperion caught up with the starship in front. The Hyperion bombarded out with a cannonball, destroying the spaceship as well. Under the attack of the Hyperion, the starship disintegrated quickly, turned into a ball of energy light, and disappeared into the void. Damn, he was actually killed by him. No, I'm not reconciled. I'm not reconciled. At this time, the star robber leaders became angry. Their eye sockets turned red. The scene where the starship was defeated just now deeply hurt their hearts and made them feel humiliated. Their faces became ferocious, and their eyes were blood red. Hyperion, since you are so ungrateful, don't blame us for being rude. HMPH, since you want to die, we will fulfill you. Give it to me. A group of star bandit leaders took out their weapons and rushed towards the Hyperion. The energy shield of the Hyperion once again played a role, blocking them out. The Hyperion kept attacking, constantly attacking, crazily attacking the star thieves rushing over. Su-Yan controls the Hyperion, constantly flying towards the distance. Those star thieves can't do anything to the Hyperion at all, and they can't chase the Hyperion. Not long after, the Hyperion had penetrated the edge of this planet and came to a planet. Those star thieves followed the Hyperion closely. The Hyperion continued to fly forward, and soon came over a vast wasteland. The body of the Hyperion was slowly spinning in the air, spinning round and round. The main gun of the Hyperion began to emit terrifying beams of energy. One beam after another of energy beams condensed and formed in mid-air, continuously bombarding those spaceships of starry sky level. Those spaceships at the starry sky level were turned into powder and destroyed under the attack of the beam of energy. Star-level spaceships are all built from planetary energy, and there is no defensive energy shield to protect themselves. The defense of these spaceships is not that strong. The spaceships in the starry sky do not have energy shields, so these spaceships cannot withstand the attack of the Hyperion at all, and they can be easily destroyed with just a beam of energy light. When those spaceships of starry sky level are destroyed, energy will continue to flow away. In the end, these star-level spaceships will turn into a pile of scrap metal after their energy is exhausted, and will be collected by the Hyperion. In this place, without energy shields, it is impossible for these starships to escape. The planets were blown up one after another under the attack of the main gun of the Hyperion, and they were continuously turned into piles of energy, which were swallowed up by the Hyperion. This desolate area was swept away in an instant. All starships turned into energy and were swallowed up by the Hyperion. In this area, there are no other starships. The Hyperion's main gun and the energy cover above the main gun also gradually dissipated, returning to a normal state. A dazzling light shone on the Hyperion's main gun, and above the main gun. 5.3 The Hyperion finally succeeded in killing all these spaceships. These starships are all those starships. Although their strength is stronger than that of the Hyperion, they don't have energy shields. Their warships didn't have energy shields, so after being hit by the Hyperion's main gun, they would all be destroyed and turned into a pile of energy. The main gun of the Hyperion still has a lot of energy reserves, which can be released at will. The battleships of those starry sky powerhouses are the resources they have accumulated hard, and they are naturally reluctant to destroy these battleships like this. However, the main gun of the Hyperion will not be used indefinitely. Once the energy is exhausted, it will no longer be usable. The power of the Hyperion is really big enough. Su-Yan exclaimed, these starry sky powerhouses, if they want to attack, I am afraid they will have to pay some price to be able to break through the main cannon. Su-Yan continued to control the Hyperion to fly in this area, looking for a suitable location, preparing to attack these star thieves, and then kill all these star thieves, defeating these star-level star thieves. Keep going, Su-Yan said. The Hyperion continued to sail forward, passing through planets one after another, and then flew thousands of kilometers, before stopping on a planet. This planet, called the solar system, is a star. The surface of this star is extremely hot enough to incinerate any matter. Su-Yan manipulated the Hyperion and stopped on the surface of this star. On the surface of this star, there are many meteorites, volcanoes and so on. Most of those meteorites are formed by the condensation of magma, and most of them are formed by the flames produced by volcanic eruptions. Those meteorites contain a huge amount of energy. Su-Yan controlled the Hyperion, and sucked all the meteorites into the weight of the Hyperion. The Hyperion absorbed those meteorites and refined them into its own energy. 23 Those meteorites also became the energy reserve of the Hyperion. After the Hyperion devoured those meteorites, it traveled a certain distance and came to another planet. That planet, called the solar system, is a very large planet, and it is also the only way for interstellar travel. However, there are no spaceships near this solar system. The Hyperion landed directly on that planet, then landed in the sky above that planet, and began to attack those spaceships. Those starships are all spaceships of the starry sky powerhouses, and they don't know whether the starry sky powerhouses on this planet are there. If they are not there, then they are in danger. They dare not take the risk. As a result, these starry sky powerhouses began to flee towards the surroundings, trying to escape through other means. The Hyperion is on that planet, pursuing and pressing these spaceships. The speed of the Hyperion is very fast, and it keeps chasing the fleeing starships. Starships were chased one after another, and then destroyed by the Hyperion. Planets were destroyed one after another. Starships were destroyed one after another, and planets were swallowed up one after another. The Hyperion continued to devour those planets, making these planets smaller and smaller. Call out. Suddenly, a planet exploded. At the moment when that planet exploded, a burst of dazzling light erupted from that planet, and then beams of light shot up into the sky, illuminating the entire dark universe. Brilliant rays of light soared into the sky from the exploding planet, and then quickly converged into one strand, forming a huge cloud of light. This huge cloud of light, like an auspicious cloud, floats in the void, looking dazzling and magnificent. Su Yan stood on the deck of the Hyperion, looking at the huge cloud of light in the void. In that huge cloud of light, there are countless figures flying in it. Those people are all star-level powerhouses. These star-level powerhouses, in these clouds of light, drove the starship and flew towards the distance. These starships are all starry weapons that can exert enormous power. These spaceships all flew towards the distance. Those spaceships fly very fast in the void. After a while, it disappeared without a trace. The Hyperion continued to follow behind those starships, chasing those starships. The speed of the Hyperion is much faster than that of the starship. Moreover, the main gun of the Hyperion is much more powerful than the main gun of the starship. One planet after another is being destroyed by the Hyperion. The Hyperion's attack was an indiscriminate attack. Under the attack of the Hyperion's main gun, those starships were shattered into fragments and disappeared into this universe. Rumble. The Hyperion kept hitting those spaceships, destroying them, and collecting the data inside those spaceships. Boom. Another planet exploded, and beams of light also appeared on the surface of this planet. From that planet, streams of light shot out, and this stream of light formed a lightsaber in the air, slashing towards the Hyperion. The defensive cover of the Hyperion was instantly torn open with a huge hole. The energy inside poured into the Hyperion crazily, making the power of the Hyperion even more tyrannical. Su Yan controlled the Hyperion and continued to attack those spaceships. Not long after, Su Yan discovered that there were two starships flying from a distance, rushing towards the Hyperion. The speed of these two spaceships was very fast, and they appeared in front of Su Yan in just a few seconds in the air. The speed of those two spaceships was so fast that Su Yan had no time to react. They had already arrived in front of him. When the 297 spaceships were approaching Su Yan, they were shocked suddenly, and beams of light shot out from the two spaceships and shot towards the Hyperion. The beams of light from those two spaceships were extremely powerful, carrying a destructive aura. Under the attack of those beams of light, cracks suddenly appeared on the defensive cover of the Hyperion. Under the attack of the two spaceships, the defensive cover of the Hyperion could not withstand it at all, and it was quickly shattered, and the shield of the Hyperion was also broken. Roar. The battleship inside the Hyperion made an angry sound. These warships are also intelligent. They know that Su Yan is under attack, so they want to come out to help Su Yan resist the enemy's attack. The fighters inside the Hyperion rushed out from the Hyperion, and then rushed towards the two spaceships. The speed of the two spaceships was very fast, and soon came to the front of the Hyperion, and then ruthlessly attacked the Hyperion. Call out. One after another, the light bullets drew long arcs in the air, and shot towards the Hyperion. Boom. One after another, the light bullets hit the Hyperion, and cracks suddenly appeared on the Hyperion. The energy shield of the Hyperion was riddled with holes from those attacks. Not long after, beams of light burst out and exploded in the air. Boom. These rays of light continuously exploded in the air, destroying the entire space. Boom. There was a violent sway inside the battleship inside the Hyperion, causing the main cabin of the Hyperion to shake for a while. A large number of sparks were also generated on the Hyperion, which made the Hyperion tremble, as if it was about to collapse. Not only the Hyperion, but the outside of the Hyperion was also attacked. Outside the Hyperion, clusters of flames appeared, bombarding the Hyperion, making the Hyperion's shield tremble non-stop. Under the attack of those two spaceships, the Hyperion was overwhelmed and finally couldn't bear it anymore. The entire hull was cracked with countless cracks, as if it might be blown up at any time. Not good. Su Yan frowned, and immediately controlled the Hyperion to fly away. He doesn't want to die, he has many things to do. The Hyperion fled to the distance, while the two spaceships were closely chasing the Hyperion, vowing to destroy the Hyperion. Rumbling. Hyperion's speed was very fast, and soon surpassed the starship. Although the speed of the Hyperion is not as fast as the starship, it is much faster than those two starships, but the two starships cannot go beyond the Hyperion zone. When the Hyperion was escaping, along the way, it continuously released waves of terrifying energy, attacking the two starships. Of these two spaceships, one is a spaceship of the Silver Wing race, and the other is a spaceship of a different race. These two spaceships both have some peculiar technologies. For example, their attack methods are different from ordinary spaceships. The energy they release is not like the energy released by ordinary spaceships. They all have the ability to destroy sexual power. The energy they release is all auxiliary energy, and the range of attack is very small. The power is not strong, and it can only cause damage to ordinary creatures. But the attack of these two spaceships is very terrifying. Even ordinary life will be hit by one of the balls. These two spaceships have been continuously attacking the Hyperion. Their speed is really too fast. They will attack the Hyperion almost every once in a while. These attacks can easily blast through the energy shield of the Hyperion, and then bombard the Hyperion, completely destroying the energy shield of the Hyperion. Damn it. Su Yan's face was extremely gloomy. These two starships are really abominable. They actually launched an attack on the Hyperion, putting the Hyperion under a lot of pressure. The defensive cover of the Hyperion is made of top-notch materials, and a special metal. This kind of material is a very precious material, with great value and strong defense ability. Even if a meteorite falls on it, it will not be smashed into a hole. The light beam attacks released by the two starships are not too powerful, but there are a lot of them, and the density has reached an astonishing level. These light beams continuously bombarded the Hyperion's energy shield, making roaring sounds from time to time. Su Yan didn't dare to be negligent, and quickly shrunk the Hyperion to protect himself and the Hyperion. Under the attack of those light beams, the energy shield on the surface of the Hyperion continuously shone with dazzling brilliance. Under the control of Su Yan, the Hyperion kept flying forward, and quickly escaped from the two starships. The two spaceships chased after them, released some light beam attacks, and bombarded the energy shield of the Hyperion, but they couldn't destroy the defensive shield of the Hyperion string at all. The energy shield of the Hyperion is still extremely hard, and it has not been breached at all. HMPH. The attacks of these spaceships are really powerful. Su Yan secretly nodded in his heart. The attacks released by these spaceships are indeed extremely powerful. When he had just fought against the Hyperion, Su Yan already felt that the energy shield of the Hyperion seemed to be unable to hold on. If they continue to entangle with these spaceships, it is estimated that the Hyperion will be breached. As soon as Su Yan thought about it, he put the Hyperion into the virtual universe, and then manipulated the Hyperion to fly towards one direction. During the galloping process, Su Yan manipulated the Hyperion, and released many light beams, attacking the two starships, trying to prevent the two starships from tracking. However, although the light beam released by the Hyperion can block the tracking of the two spaceships, their speed is too fast. While they are tracking, they will also release some beams to attack Su Yan's Hyperion. Although the Hyperion has a powerful energy shield defense, those light beams will still bombard the energy shield, making the energy shield much darker and then exhausted. Although the Hyperion's defense cover can block some attacks, it cannot block all attacks. The Hyperion can persist for a period of time, but once the time is too long, the Hyperion will be crushed by the two starships. While manipulating the Hyperion, Su Yan continuously released light beams to the surroundings, trying to block the two spaceships, hoping to stop the two spaceships from catching up with him. Wangda, it seems that I have to find a way to attract those spaceships, Su Yan thought to himself. His consciousness is on the Hyperion, observing the situation around the Hyperion. Wherever his gaze went, those light beams would automatically avoid them, and then dodge to the side. Su Yan's consciousness was detecting on the Hyperion, looking for the positions of those spaceships, lest those spaceships would attack the Hyperion. On the left side of the Hyperion, there are three spaceships rushing towards the Hyperion at a very fast speed, and they came near the Hyperion in the blink of an eye swish. Su Yan manipulated the Hyperion, bypassing those spaceships from the side, and moved closer to those spaceships on the right. Su Yan manipulated the Hyperion, constantly moving around those spaceships. During this period, the Hyperion also fired a lot of beams, bombarding the beam shields of those spaceships. It made those beam shields tremble several times, but these beams were finally resisted by those starships. While those starships were chasing Su Yan, they were also chasing and killing the Hyperion, but they did not launch an attack on the Hyperion, but had been attacking the Hyperion from a long distance. The Hyperion's defense has become weaker and weaker, and it may be destroyed at any time. The Hyperion released another beam, which bombarded the beam shields of the three starships. The beam shield of the starship spaceship suddenly vibrated violently again. The starship was obviously irritated by the beam of light from the Hyperion, and stopped attacking, but accelerated towards the Hyperion. Su manipulated the Hyperion, and kept approaching the Hyperion. He wanted to make contact with those 3 spaceships. Swish. At this moment, one of the starships suddenly released a beam of light towards the Hyperion, and the 133 beams of light from that starship hit the light speed shield of the Hyperion in an instant. Boom. The beam shield burst open immediately, and a terrifying air wave rushed out, blowing those spaceships to the point of collapse. Damn you! How dare you attack us, bastard! The Hyperion is our prey. Who allowed you to attack the Hyperion? Go to hell! A roar came from the cockpits of the 3 starships. Su Yan's Hyperion has been completely exposed to the sight of those spaceships. In this space, there are only 2 spaceships. One is Su Chen's Hyperion, and the other is Su Chen's Nebula. This time, Su Chen did not follow Su Yan into the secret realm, so now Su Chen he was the only one on Chen's Xingyan. Whoosh, whoosh. The 2 spaceships quickly approached Su Yan's Hyperion, and at this moment, the 2 spaceships fired 2 more beams, ready to attack the Hyperion. Seeing these 2 beams of light, Su Yan knew that he wanted to get rid of the opponent, which was basically impossible because Hyperion could not dodge the opponent's attack at all. Hyperion, get ready for the battle. Welcome the attack, Su Yan yelled at the Hyperion, and then he suddenly grabbed it with both hands towards the void hum. Suddenly, 3 silver rays of light appeared in front of Su Chen, and these 3 rays of light changed rapidly, forming 3 giant silver spheres. These 3 giant silver spheres are suspended in the air like mountain peaks. These silver balls exude extremely dazzling golden light, which looks very dazzling. Su Yan was in control of the Hyperion, and suddenly slammed into the 3 huge silver spheres. Boom. The Hyperion hit the 3 silver giant balls, shaking violently. A violent collision occurred on Su Chen's Hyperion, and countless fine cracks appeared on the beam shield of the Hyperion. In these cracks, there are currents that are constantly swimming, as if they want to tear the beam shield. Su Chen manipulated the Hyperion to avoid the attack of these spaceships. The starship didn't catch up immediately, but continued to attack the Hyperion. It has to be said that the attacks of the 3 spaceships were really powerful. The beam shield of the Hyperion had almost no resistance, and was blasted through by the 3 spaceships. The beam shield of the Hyperion was smashed to pieces, and was riddled with holes by those silver beams. CDCG looked very embarrassed, and many shells left holes on the beam shield scars. The defense system of the Hyperion was also damaged, and many shells were shot down by those energy beams. On the shield of the Hyperion, smoke kept rising, as if it might disappear at any time. The shield of the Hyperion is almost unable to withstand it. Boom. The artillery fire of the starships poured towards the Hyperion star one after another. Boom, boom. In this airspace, a series of explosions sounded, and those energy fluctuations caused the Hyperion to shake non-stop, as if it was about to be broken by the opponent's attack. Su Yan was manipulating the Hyperion, flashing rapidly in the air, trying to avoid the attacks of those spaceships. However, the speed of those spaceships is so fast that it only takes a second to catch up with Su Yan, so as long as Su Yan slows down a little bit, he will encounter those attacks. Su Yan's Hyperion was bombarded by a series of energy beams, shaking in the air like a kite. Although the shield of the Hyperion was constantly vibrating from the bombardment of the energy beam, it still resisted firmly and did not collapse. But when Su Chen saw the scene, his expression became ugly and he was very anxious. He manipulated the Hyperion, and flew towards those spaceships quickly, hoping to get close to the opponent's spaceship as soon as possible, and then destroy those spaceships. However, when he flew 5 or 6 kilometers away from those starships discovered him and immediately launched a powerful attack. Boom! A huge beam cannon jetted out from the tail end of the starship, and shot towards the Hyperion. Everywhere it passed, the space was pierced by this beam cannon hum. When the beam cannon bombarded the Hyperion, 3 beams of light suddenly lit up on the Hyperion, and these 3 beams of light quickly condensed into 3 walls of light, hitting the beam cannon. Thinking block this beam cannon. The beam cannon hit the 3 light walls, making a loud noise. Under the bombardment of this beam cannon, the light wall was quickly shattered. The 3 light walls were also divided into 2, directly turning into countless fine pieces, which spread out to the surroundings. They flew towards Su Chen one after another. Su Chen immediately steered the Hyperion, dodging quickly. Those beams of light were all avoided by Su Chen, and did not cause any damage to the Hyperion. Boom, boom. The attacks of those spaceships, like raindrops, crazily bombarded the light wall of the Hyperion, causing the light wall of the Hyperion to vibrate and tremble incessantly.
Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.